Hi everyone, it's Jo from Weedon, Melbourne. How you going? I have just finished the chicken and corn soup for my son, who's not very well at the moment, so he won't be coming in and disturbing me, asking what's for tea because it's already done. So I thought I would show you what I'm going to put together today. So I haven't got a finished product, so I'm going to show you this. This is from Adkins. He made a gorgeous box from the pressed petal designer paper, and I've changed it so that it has centimetres rather than inches. So I've adjusted the measurements just slightly. So let's get started. Hi Rails, g'day. Hi Wendy, thank you. So I'm going to lay this down and I'm hoping you can see the measurements. I've started with a piece of cardstock. The white one isn't what I'm working with. I'm going to work with Bermuda Bay. But this piece at the moment is 29.5 centimetres by 21. I'll put all the photos of the measurements and everything in the post later on. I'll add that. So on the long side, I've scored the cardstock at 5 centimetres, at 23 centimetres, and at 28. So then you get and you score that along there obviously, and you get the edging so that you can attach that as a box. Now if I cover these ones up for you, the short side, which is in reference to the short side of the length of cardstock that you're using, you will be scoring your work at 5 centimetres, 10, 15 and at 20. I'll show the other measurements shortly to decorate the box. So here we have a beautiful piece of Bermuda Bay already scored. The only thing I didn't show you is, I'll just lift it up here, I've also scored along this point here. So I found my middle point and I've scored it to the edging so that you get the top piece of the milk carton when you score that in. So I'll just go ahead and score that while we're chatting. I'm wondering if anyone's seen the holiday catalogue. I only got to see it yesterday. So I finally ordered today and I'm hoping that things will come next week. But with this horrendous weather that we're having in Melbourne, who knows how long it will take to arrive. It's absolutely freezing. It's only about 6 degrees here in Melbourne at the moment. So pretty revolting. Perfect stamping weather though. So be sure to burnish all of your edgings and your score marks really well, because that will give a cleaner, crisper finish. Oh, actually they go outside the tabs on the top. And they go backwards. They go backwards as well. So, let me just move so that there we go. Okay. So using some wet glue. Oh, actually what I was going to show you first is with the box laying like this, you can see that this will be the very top. The box will join up together like that, and then you've just got to wrap the pieces in over each other. So I'll go ahead and do that quickly. I didn't know whether to do that beforehand or not. So don't glue the layer that's going to be at the top, because obviously you don't want that wet glue exposed to the underside of the box. Possibly used a little bit too much. She says as she wipes it off her hands. And I haven't done the other bit. Oh my goodness, I'm all over the place. And I wasn't going to glue it yet. I was going to show you the designer paper and everything, but anyway, it's done. So we'll just fumble on through. So adhere all these together. There's advantages and disadvantages to using wet glue. Some people think it's better simply because you, because you can manipulate it, whereas I'm struggling today, so I prefer to use tape most of the time. But we'll persevere, we'll see how we go. Oh, and I've got a little bit of glue exposed there, so I'll have to clean that up as well. G'day Margaret, hi Alison. Okay, so put that together like that. And the things that I find works really, really well, and I'm going to reach over the camera now to see if I can do it, is actually use pegs to help hold it together, but it may not work because of where we're going to join them. Just hold this for a second, and hopefully it should adhere enough that I can then continue to work. There we go, that's gluing. So this will all come off, that will be okay. You can always use the embossing buddy, if I can get this out one-handed, of my containers, and put that on top, and that reduces the stickiness of the Tombow. Just so that then it doesn't stick to everything that you're going to be touching then. I'm actually using this box for one of the women that I teach every fortnight on Monday night. She's actually going to the top of New South Wales. She's going away, moving, and so I thought I would make this for her. So here you can see that this box will close like that. See, quite tall. It actually reminds me of like an Easter box type thing. You could put the medium-sized eggs in there. And now what I'll show you, move this along out of the way. I didn't use the peg in the end. I'm going to show you the designer paper Bird Ballad. It's just gorgeous. There's so many, let me remove this so it's not glary. So many variations of what you can use, and themes and colours and all that sort of thing. You know, the keys can even be male. That could work. This time round I'm using the feathers here, and I've gone for a mix. No, not that one. I think it's this one here at the end as well. So I'll move that aside and I'll show you what I've done. So using Pool Party as my cardstock behind, I've got this designer paper worked out like that. So with designer paper that's got a design that goes a particular way, you need to be aware, and I'm just going to find the feathers for you now. You need to be aware of the way that the direction goes for the movement of your design, well, not movement so much, but for your designer paper. So for example, all the feathers run this way, but if I cut the designer paper like this, I'm not going to use it because it just doesn't work with the feathers running across ways. So when you're cutting your paper, you need to be aware of that so that you cut it lengthways so that it runs down the way that your box flows. I'm just trying to find the offcut so that I can show you, but that's not going to work for me, I don't think. No, doesn't matter. Okay, so ripping these off super quick. I've decided to do two different designer papers because I've got to show them all off. It's just gorgeous. So I've done a tag, and the tags have birds on them, so I'm going to have my birds on the front. What I've decided is the front of the box. I probably should have shown you the measurements, shouldn't I? I can show you that in a moment. The sides, the Pool Party measurements is 17.5 centimetres by 4.5, and you need 4 of the Pool Party. Just stick those down like that. And what have I done? Bird, feathers, bird. So I'm looking at getting more classes organised. So at the moment I have one in Tanit each fortnight, and I'm certainly looking at organising another class the opposite week. So if anyone's interested, I'm happy to come out and visit and teach you some skills and show you some things that we make, and cards and birthday gifts and all that sort of thing. Lots of fun. Get some people together, and it's therapeutic. It's good fun. It doesn't have to be high maintenance or anything like that. Just really relaxed. There you go. There's our designer paper stock on. And while I think of it, I'll show you the dimensions. I'll bring this in. So here you go. The side of the box. Let me just cover these so it's not too much information for you. So the sides of the box is 17.5 centimetres by 45, and you need 4 of those, and the designer paper is 17 by 4 centimetres, and I've used 2 and 2 obviously because I've used different designs. And then the lid, I've gone with matching cardstock again and designer paper, 4.5 by 4.5 and 4 by 4, and only 2 of those because you lose 2 of them with the folding that goes on here. You could possibly put a tag, keep the tag that I've cut off there if you wanted to. I can't say why I cut that off. I think it just kind of happened. And with this designer paper, and I'm rushing around looking for it again. Here we go. That's this one here that matches this paper. I obviously found the particular area that I wanted to emphasize. So cutting up, 4 by 8 centimeters, for example, so that I could get that particular part, so I could show that off. I'll just add that on there. One more on the other side. And I'm not adding a lot of embellishment. I kind of figure that the designer paper speaks for itself. It's pretty beautiful. So I'm not wanting to do anything. The only thing I might do actually is put another hole punch in here so that I can close it as a... There we go. I'm going to add a little bit of glue here. Groot's going to help me. He can make an appearance. Holding the glue upside down for me. There we go, and that will dry. So to finish this off, because I just wanted a little bit of a label or something like that, I decided to use the nested stitched dies, and I've used the second size in, this one here, to create, to create a tag. I feel like I'm fumbling a bit today, I'm sorry. So I've made the tag in Pool Party, and I've used just a thread from the burlap ribbon, and stamped Life was meant for good friends and great adventures, which is a new stamp set called from Silhouette Scenes. This one. So there's the stamp set there. Sorry, not that one. This one. And I've stamped it in Bermuda Bay, but not super hard. And for those who know me, know that I love fussy cutting. So I've cut those little birds out, and I discovered, of course, in the image, it's actually really difficult to cut in between the bird's legs. So what you could do if you wanted to was, because it's white in between, you could mount it onto white and you wouldn't see them at all, or you use a craft knife or a Stanley knife or something like that to cut through, and then that allows you to get the intricate detail that you want. So I'm going to stick that down like that. Now I did wonder, when it's all put together, the birds are actually hanging sideways a little bit, so I'm not quite sure if that's what I would do in the future, or if I'd have the words running this way, so therefore the words can go, the birds can be landscape rather than horizontal. So then all we need to do is close it all up, actually put something in it. I don't know whether I'm going to make some slice and put that in, or whether I'll find a little package of ribbon or something like that. And then that might be suffice, you know, that'll be enough. If there's any of these products on here that you really like, talk to me. I'm happy to help you order them, and they can be sent directly to you. And certainly I can send you a catalogue, I can come and give you some ideas for craft or that sort of thing, whatever you like. Any reason to get together for craft is a great idea, and I can't tie that up on camera right now, it's not working. But there you go. I've got the designer paper and I've got the tag all ready to go, and I've just got to fill it up, and I probably won't adhere that closed at all. I'll leave it open so that it's easy and it doesn't get ruined when it's given. And I've just had a thought, have I done everything sideways? Should everything actually be that way? Oh well, another fumble of mine. So if you're in Melbourne, stay warm. It's exceptionally cold. Stay warm and craft. It's fantastic. Have a great night, and thank you for watching, or watching later if you need to. Come back and see what videos I'm doing next. Thanks for your time. Bye.